What's one of the dumbest things you've ever spent money on? When I was like 14, I bought a pack of intentionally mismatched socks that were really expensive. Like, only one of each pattern. Could have bought twice as many normal socks and just mismatched them myself. When I went on a school field trip to Washington, D.C. back in middle school, I bought a $2 bill at a souvenir shop for $20. SMH. I was drunk and bought Monster Ballads off an infomercial. And I paid an extra $20 for rush delivery. Because I was drunk and needed it ASAP. And it showed up a month later. A copy of Cory in the house for the Nintendo DS except FO $30 in 2019. I was just a few weeks out of basic training and bought one of those family lineage with the shields on it and description. I blew $500 or so bucks just to find out it wasn't even accurate. I spent $40 one of those amusement park booths where you had to throw darts at balloons. For some reason, I picked out this really ugly 7 feet tall frog stuffed animal. It's in the corner of my closet and still scares me when I'm half awake in the morning. ID had a few drinks, TGIF, and wandered into a Williams-Sonoma store in a state of euphoria. There I saw a special edition KitchenAid stand mixer made in bronze that was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. It was on sale for $999. Naturally, I bought it. But because I'm a single guy who doesn't bake, it's just taking up much needed counter space. The blanket that makes you look like a giant burrito. It was super thin and of poor quality. Not to mention not big enough to cover me. Now it'll never look like a burrito. There was this guy named Don Lapper who sold money-making kits. Like how to make money with classified ads. I think I invested about $350 and received literally nothing of value. I was young, and being stupid. Looked him up tonight to remember how to spell his name. Turns out he killed himself with a razor blade while in jail in 2011. I was 11 and my dad gave me $50 to spend at the mall. So, I wandered into a gift shop and spent it all on an electronic vibrating winking pink pig. I never played with it after I brought it home. Tried to return it. Only to be offered store credit. Most expensive dumb thing? A Mercedes 500 SEL. Literally bankrupt myself buying parts and gas for that ducking land yacht. Sold it for half what I paid and felt lucky to be rid of it. Dumbest dumb thing? A metallic gold-laden painting of a Pontiac Firebird. It oozes white trash and I had planned on putting it in a family gift exchange as a joke but didn't end up going and got stuck with it. It's currently hanging in a storage room. Like all Class C paintings do. When I was 19, I got a construction job that paid fairly well. Stupid me got all hot and horny for a fun car. I signed up for a 5-year loan after test driving the first one. I ended up having engine failure almost 2 years later. Because it was a used car and from a shady used car dealer. The warranty was well expired. I couldn't afford to get a new engine for it, so I ended paying over 3 years for a car that I wasn't driving. Big wedding. All that money. Could have helped so many problems we had later. Divorced anyway. This past Christmas Eve I was doing some last-minute shopping and came across a wine glass shaped like Buddy from the movie Elf, which of course also had Will Ferrell's face on it. With everything kind of being out of order with the holiday rush, I didn't know how much it cost. But I bought it on pure impulse because I thought it was funny. It wasn't until I left the store and looked at the receipt did I realize that it cost $22. Which is way more than it's worth. To remind me of my mistake. I now drink out of that glass exclusively and have been for the past 5 months. I have to wash it like twice a day, but I won't stop using it until I feel like I've gotten my $22 worth. ShamWow. I mean, it's got sham right there in the name. But I wanted to support Vince from ShamWow's crusade against Scientology. I bought a cat eye stencil off Amazon that's supposed to help with liquid eyeliner application. Because my hands are shaky as duck. Didn't check the reviews. It's a crappy piece of plastic shaped like a cat that breaks really easy. Apparently. I wouldn't know. I bought it a week ago drunk and it's shipping from China with an estimated arrival of July 27th. My friends and I randomly decided to get into paintballing one year. My first visit to a paintball shop. I apparently felt like flexing my brand new I have a job and no bills because I lived with my parents' income. So I dropped about $400 on a paintball gun that looked like an AK-47, the way a Nerf pistol looks like a Glock. We did a few practice fights with each other. Then went to a paintball field that weekend. The bell rang. The fight started. I ran out, aimed at a guy. Gun jammed, and I got shot in the head, just above the part my mask was covering. That gun never fired again and I ended up replacing it with a cheap Tippmann 98 Custom, which as far as I understand is the vanilla sherbet of paintball guns. It worked, but we stopped paintballing forever after like 2 months. So I guess the second gun was also one of the dumbest things I spent money on. Boxes. I never saved them and tossed them in recycling. Well, moving time came around and I was in need of many boxes. So I spent more money than I would like to admit of cardboard and bubble wrap. I absolutely loved her. But the Great Dane I had was dumb. I'm talking so ducking irredeemably dumb that she would regularly smash face first into walls chasing flies, and run right into a closed door, not see through it, when I asked if she needed to go out. She was a sweet loving good girl. This thing Suzanne Summers was pitching on QVC at 3 a.m. 15 years ago to help avoid getting wrinkles on your face. I was up all crazy hours with a newborn at the time, so a bit delirious. It was some electrical impulse mini machine for approximate $150. Suzanne looked fantastic and said she hadn't ever had plastic surgery and had just used this little machine on her face her whole life. I believed it. Spent the money, and when it arrived 3 weeks later I never even took it out of the box to use it. Priority shipping during COVID quarantine. I just wanted to see if it would arrive, but I'm still waiting on that order I placed in early March. I once bought my girlfriend a hat and had her name embroidered on it. She asked me if I would ever wear a shirt with my name on it. I would not. This year I paid $60 for a Shrek action figure wearing a NASCAR racing suit at a thrift store. Paid $59 on a strapless adhesive bra. I just spent $250 on the 1989 Batmobile Lego set. Arrived today. Part of me is excited to build it. However, the other side just thinks, what are you doing? You're a 27-year-old man spending money on Legos during a pandemic. But still excited to build tomorrow. A sword cane with a snake head on it. The blade wasn't sharp and I never used it. Just bought it to essentially look cool. Now I can't find it. I just sunk around $7,000 in becoming a licensed massage therapist. Had my job a little over a year and was just starting to get pretty solid when suddenly I can no longer touch people or be within 6 feet of them. At least I paid off my student loans in February. My family visited Colorado when I was 10 and I saw a statue of a mosquito in a gift shop with the word state bird on the bottom and begged my parents for it. We now have a rather large mosquito statue on our piano.